Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing what's in my morning basket for the month of August. So hey, my name is Adrian. I am a homeschool mom of 3 kiddos, another one on the way soon, and this is our 4th year homeschooling. So this is our August morning basket. My plan for morning basket is to finish up some of the things that we didn't get to this summer, and also just to spend some time connecting with each other and getting back in the swing of things starting school back up. We were very lax this summer. We took a longer summer break than normal, and so this is going to just be us slowly jumping back in with morning basket. If you have been around here for a while, I think this is like our 3rd time trying this book. But I have decided we are going to do this again, and we're just going to focus on one lesson a week until we're done with it. So this book will hang around here until we're done with it. In fact, we did the first lesson today, and my kids actually really enjoyed it. So Connoisseur Kids, it is Etiquette, Manners, and Living Well for Parents and Their Little Ones by Jennifer L. Scott. I thoroughly enjoy the things that Jennifer L. Scott puts out. She's written a few books for adults about her time in France and how to keep home. She also has, I believe, a blog and a YouTube channel as well. Next up, we have Just So Stories by Rudyard Kipling. We've read 1 or 2 of these that have popped up in other treasury books. But I got this at a sale, and we're gonna finish reading through these along with this Simple Studies from, well, it's from Simple Studies, and it's about Just So Stories. So it comes with some coloring pages for each of the stories for the younger kids. And then for each story, you're just doing some simple things like lesson 1 has you read the story and either do the coloring page with it, or you can try to draw the animal you're reading about on your own, and then you will just learn some facts about that animal. You can, for instance, we did, what is it called? The one about the camels, how the camel got his hump. And so we read the story, we colored the picture, and then we looked up some other animals that live in the desert in some books that we had on hand. And my kids thoroughly enjoyed it. We talked a little bit about deserts, what habitats are, and we just had fun retelling the story. And then for my 3rd grader this year, he did some copy work on the picture that he colored. Very simple, all in all. I think it took us about 30 minutes, and we did this whole lesson, and you can go as in-depth or not as you want. So Just So Stories. Next up, we have One Small Square Backyard. We read the first few pages of this summer, and then just got so busy with our garden and play dates and family and this pregnancy, and we did not get to do this like I wanted to. So this is still in my morning basket. I want to start it next week. And this is just really neat. You pick a square in your backyard, you can read through this book, and then you just do a nature journal or nature study about that one area in your yard. You can dig up the soil, you can look at the bugs, you can look at the plants, all sorts of things, and this just kind of helps you walk through that. Next up is Hymns for a Kid's Heart. We started this last year, and we have done 1 hymn a month out of it. I think there were a few hymns that we spent longer on because of holidays or just life. So we are going to go through 2 hymns this month, and that is because we have already learned the words to these hymns, but we did not do the accompanying hymn study with it. So we're going to do the hymn study for 2 this month, and then the month after we'll go back to doing 1 a month. I have this sweet little book that we picked up at a library sale, and it is just a year of prayers. It's got prayers for back to school, for summer, for the different seasons and holidays, things just about God, and they're just really sweet, a way to practice your prayers for especially for children who can sometimes get stuck in the thank you for our food, please help us have fun. And so this just gives some examples of some really, really sweet prayers with some really sweet, let me see, some really sweet images. So perfect, here's some for school. We did some of these for summer as well. This is for people that we meet, and it just has some super cute pictures in there. Next in here, I have exploring nature with children. I'm going to not be diligently doing this, but I want to have this as part of the feast that we are laying for our children. Things to pick up from the library or focus on as we go on walks and do nature study. Here I have Kids of Integrity. These are free character Bible studies. So this one is on consideration. I thoroughly enjoy these. They have you do crafts and activities, things that are hands-on to really illustrate what you're talking about. They really focus on a certain character quality like consideration, but they also have you go through Bible studies where you are reading the scripture, you're talking about what those scriptures mean. They have sample prayers for the parents, sample prayers for the children. They have scripture memory verses. Like I said, lots of hands-on activities. Just so much for you to do. Now, we don't ever do all of this. I go through with a highlighter and I just highlight the things that I want to do. So I highlighted a few of the sample prayers that I would like to do. They have, this section is called Speak a Blessing. And so it has some things for you to say to your child as you're working on this character trait. So some of them here are, I like the way you said that. You were very tactful because we're working on consideration. Or I can tell that you're doing your best to keep the peace by being considerate. Thank you. So it kind of helps you as a parent to hone in on those things that your children are doing well, while also giving you the biblical foundation for where all of these things come from. So there are some memory verses. I highlighted the one that I wanted to do. There's a kickoff craft. I like to go through and highlight some of just the important things that I want to touch on. And then there's a whole thing on the back of hands-on options. And again, we don't do all of them. There are lots of options, some more involved than others. And I just go through and highlight the ones that I want and some key points for them. So I love this. It's free. I will link this down below if you like it. This is not the only Bible thing that we do. We also do Bible stuff at bedtime. I do Bible stuff with my preschooler, but this is just one component of our Bible study. Okay, next we have this big, beautiful book. I'm sure you've seen somewhere if you've watched any homeschool videos. This is just a nature poem for every day of the year with some stunning illustrations. They're very short poems, just one day. And so with my preschooler, I am working a lot on calendar time. So I really want to be diligent with this, where we talk about the day of the week and the month of the year, and my little girl will sing the days of the week song and we'll read this poem, and just some fun calendar time. Okay, next we have the Children's Book of Virtues. We are talking about consideration. So in here, we have been going through, what is it called? Compassion and faith. I thought that some of those stories fit in with that discussion. I like to actually pull this out and read this during lunchtime because they're just very short little poems, or so like here there's Try Again, or they're short stories. The Little Boy of Holland, The Tortoise and the Hare. So there's some Aesop's fables, but they're normally pretty short and they're just good conversation starters. Okay, the things that I have in the back here we have not gotten to yet, but this is the American Patriots Almanac. My plan with this is to add it to our calendar time. So to do the basic days of the week with my daughter, do the little nature poem, which is adorable, we all enjoy, but this also goes through and it has a bit of history for each day of the month. And so here's April 1st. It has like a story of something that happened, and then an American history parade, and it gives you a few dates and things that happened on that day of the year. So I'm hoping to add this into our calendar time as we continue to progress through August. We're gonna just keep building that muscle of doing school and adding a little more in here and there. Lastly, I have everyday graces. When we are done with the children's book of virtues, I will move into this. It's something similar. It's a child's book of good manners. It's written by Karen Santorum, and this is focusing on manners and character and all of those things through story and giving examples that way. So I thought this would be sweet to do probably once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on what other things we pull from basket. And the very last thing I have in here is Sushi Go. So this is just a quick little game, and I really want to be playing a game every week. Maybe once, maybe twice, but we have so many games, and I'm not very good at playing them all the time. I always want to be working on connection with my kids, but I have not been the best at that since being pregnant and tired and so busy this summer. So I really want to start our school year off with a fun way to connect, to have conversation, to laugh and smile with each other. So we're gonna put a little game in there in our morning basket to play once or twice a week. And then I can swap that out. So we can play our games, have the connection, have the laughs, have a high point in our week, if nothing else. And I really like playing Sushi Go. This is a really fun card game with a bit of math because you have to add up all your points and stuff for each round. Very fun. So this looks like a lot. Like I said, we are slowly working our school muscles up. And so we will only pick 1 or 2, maybe 3 of these things every morning. Or maybe we'll pick 1 thing in the morning and 1 thing for lunchtime. This is just kind of my placeholder for some of the things that we like to rotate. So if I'm reading a Rudyard Kipling story, we're not going to be doing a full-length hands-on activity with our Bible study. If we're doing our poem and a story from the book of virtues and we're doing a Bible study, then we're probably not going to do another story or the Connoisseur Kids lesson. We will vary things throughout the week, and we'll just pick 2, maybe 3 things each. But like I said, we're working up our school muscle. I really want to focus on connection with my kids and just finishing up some of those fun things that I had for summer that we did not get to in our busy schedule. I always plan more for the summer than we ever get to. We never finish it. So we're gonna do some of these things before we get really diligent and focused in September with all of our other school subjects. So keep an eye out for that because things are changing with a baby coming and school needing to get done and life in general. And I'm going to make videos about all of it. So if you liked this, if you do things in a similar way and enjoy that, or you just like to see how other people do homeschool, I would love for you to join us. Subscribe so you can see what's coming up. Let me know how your school year is starting this year in the comments. I love just connecting with people that love to homeschool and talk about books and all the fun stuff that comes with it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.